Hello everybody, Animation Trainer here, and today we're going to be talking about Cars 3. So with the Cars franchise, many people really don't seem to like it. People either just don't care for it, absolutely trash it, or just think it's okay. Okay. And another thing is that Pixar hasn't been doing good this decade. Like, overall this decade, Pixar only really made two movies that really impressed me, and that being Inside Out and Finding Dory. The rest of the movies were either like okay or below average for, well, all of them are just below average for Pixar, like with like Good Dinosaur, Brave, Cars 2. Yeah. Now, my opinion on the Cars franchise is that I believe that they're doing good, and let's see if Cars 3 actually like continues on everything, and maybe even like gets another good Pixar movie, like another masterpiece or whatever, like like the good old days. Yeah, and the first Cars movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not lying. Like, well, my list has changed recently, but like on my old list, I put Cars the original on at the number 9 spot for my favorite movies of all time, and then Cars 2 was a big disappointment. I mean, I didn't think it was bad or anything, but it was meh, nothing spectacular. But with Cars 2, they definitely had a huge improvement from the second one. I mean, this movie absolutely ignores everything that happened in Cars 2. Like, just forget about the spy stuff. Finn McMissile doesn't exist. Holly Sheffield doesn't exist. That one weird scientist guy doesn't exist. And even Mater's cut out of the movie. Mater's literally only in like three is sorry, not three scenes, but like Mater's only there in like the very beginning of the movie, like for the first race and stuff. In the trailers, when McQueen calls Mater, McQueen is in that scene, which happens in like the middle of the movie, and then Mater appears in the final race of the film, and that's literally all he's in, which I wouldn't really consider that a flaw though. I just say that that's a little bit strange because Mater had a lot of bigger roles in the other movies, especially the second movie. Yeah, I'm guessing that had to do with Cars 2 though. Yeah. Instead, the characters that side with McQueen throughout the whole movie were Luigi and Guido, mostly because of the tires and stuff. Yeah. And they side off pretty good. They don't really do much with McQueen, but they're still good characters overall. Yeah. And then another thing with the movie that happens is this movie actually surprisingly takes place mostly out of Radiator Springs, which is pretty good actually because you get to see other places of the world and not huge cities, which I really enjoyed this time, and it doesn't feel weird with them out in the big cities. Here they're out in like side country marks and stuff, which I thought actually really worked because I felt like Cars 2 went really overboard with the Cars world. Here I feel like they kept it good and simple. And another great thing about the movie is the animation. The animation is absolutely phenomenal. Like, in my opinion, other than Finding Nemo and Dory and The Incredibles, this is definitely the best animation done by Pixar. I mean, the racing scenes look awesome. The backgrounds look. They went back to like the animation style from the first movie, and where they make everything look realistic in a way, like when they go to certain places, and I thought that looked absolutely great. And it's kind of like you're there in a way, yeah. And then another good thing with the animation is, like I said, the racing scenes. The racing scenes are really phenomenal, and you could like really feel the suspense going, especially if you're a major like NASCAR fan. If you're a huge fan of stuff like that, then go ahead, check it out because it's absolutely phenomenal. And then another really good thing about the movie is the heart of the movie, and This is something I was very surprised returned in this movie from the first movie, because the second movie had some heart, but even then, in the end, I really didn't feel for the movie that much. This movie, this is my Toy Story 3. This is my Toy Story 3. A lot of people had very emotional states with Toy Story 3, but the Cars franchise is my Toy Story franchise. And I mean, I had a lot of emotions throughout the movie, which was surprising because I don't really cry in that many movies, to be honest. And I was very surprised by the emotional state in this movie. And with McQueen, because if you saw the trailers, McQueen gets wrecked, and you really do feel for McQueen like, when he gets wrecked and everything. Yeah, that part was very emotional. And I hope Pixar continues to do really emotional stuff like that. Now, many complain that this movie feels a lot like Rocky 4 and Creed. Now, I haven't seen those movies, so I can't really judge, but even then, I feel like Pixar sort of made it their own thing in a way. You know, with how McQueen tries to go after his like old mentor. And another thing, well, I wasn't really too surprised with this, but like I'm really glad that they in the movie they reference Doc Hudson a lot. And if you guys didn't know, because of Doc's voice actor Paul Newman dying, they chose to kill off Doc's character. So here like McQueen kind of like references Doc in a way that allows him to like not stop racing, and I thought that was a very emotional part of the movie. Yeah, like that brought in like a lot of emotional scenes, and I really like that because Doc was definitely one of the highlights of the first Cars movie. He really made that movie great. Yeah, and this movie doesn't really have that much humor, like, but when it comes, it's pretty good. Yeah, like I had a lot of chuckles and a lot of some laugh out loud scenes for me. Yeah, and then another thing with the story, like at first when I saw the trailers, I was thinking this is gonna be very predictable. I'm guessing, but I was actually surprised with the actual outcome of the movie. Like only really like the first half of the movie is predictable. The second half isn't very predictable at all. So props for Pixar for putting that much effort into the story. Because I was actually very surprised with the plot twist that they were actually able to pull out. Yeah, and then let's go more into characters. I already talked about Cruz. No, I talked about McQueen. The new character, Cruz Ramirez, she actually really surprised me in this movie. Yeah, she really, like, I was surprised with her character. I thought, well, I can't really say anything because of spoilers in the movie, but let's just say that as you go into the second half of the movie, her character really gets the shine. Yeah. Then with the reoccurring characters, like the Radiator Springs characters, they're really not in the movie for that long, but when they do appear, they're pretty good. Yeah. Then there's if there is one flaw I do have with the movie, and it's not really with the movie itself, it's more with the Easter eggs. It's that I feel like the Easter eggs were like very obvious. Like in every movie, they try to like have like certain Easter eggs. There were some that I didn't catch in the movie, but some of them were straight in your face. Like, for example, they try to get an actor known as John Ratzenberg in every Pixar movie. He's known for being Ham, the Abominable Snowman. What else? The PT Flea. And here it's very obvious when he comes out because he plays as Mac. I mean, at least Finding Dory changed up who John Ratzenberg was rather than just using the moonfish again. Yeah. But here, they just used Mac again, so it got a little repetitive. But at the same time, Mac is a major character in here, so yeah. Another Easter egg that they try to throw out is A113, and like with John Ratzenberg, this one is right in your face. Like, literally. as soon as I saw it, I was all like, oh look, A113. I didn't even have to look. Yeah. But those aren't exactly flaws. Those are just kind of things that kind of bothered me. Like there's still things that I didn't really catch in the movie. Like recently, these Easter eggs have been absolutely hard to find. I'll talk about that in a different video because I don't want to make this video about Easter eggs. Yeah. Then there's also Jackson Storm. He was a decent character. I mean, I didn't think he was like phenomenal like the others, but he was decent. Like he was kind of like Chick Hicks in the movie. Yeah. And then there was overall other things. I don't really want to do a spoiler review, so I'll just give you my ranking and then go somewhat into spoilers. So you guys may be surprised by my ranking, but trust me, I'm as surprised as you guys are. Like I went in this movie expecting an 8 or 9 out of 10, but I actually give this movie a 10 out of 10. Yes, and after I saw it, I was like thinking, is this my favorite Pixar movie? But overall, it's my second favorite, tied with the first Cars movie. It's about on par with the first Cars movie. Overall, yeah. This is overall my favorite animated movie of the year so far, and I don't think that's gonna change. Unless if Despicable Me 3 really like surprises me, or if the Emoji Movie like, yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. So go check this movie out. I would recommend it, although it's mostly for kids and for fans of the first Cars movie. That's what I would say. It's still a great and phenomenal movie. All right. So now I'm gonna go into the spoilers. So there was also some other things that I was surprised with in the movie, like a lot of reoccurring characters that came back, like these the Rusty and Dusty or something like that. I forgot their names. I was surprised to see them in the movie, especially with how like McQueen was like really like hated him in the first one, but in this movie it's good to see how they get along now. And then they also I'm surprised by this, but they actually brought in a lot of not Easter eggs, but a lot of references to the first movie, which made me very nostalgic. Very nostalgic. Like throughout the movie, I felt like this heart sense overall, which really surprised me. Like my heart, like it felt like I don't know how to say it throughout the whole movie. Yeah. Some other things I was surprised with was crew. I'll say that after. I was surprised by Chick and the King's reappearance. That was actually very surprising to me. I didn't expect to see them, although I'm very surprised that they didn't get Michael Keaton for Chick, as it's very obvious that it's not Keaton. Yeah. And then another thing, I actually really like the ending with Cruz Ramirez winning the race for McQueen. Of course, I would have liked seeing McQueen win, as it really just shows how McQueen could beat those high standard cars. But it was nice to see Cruz shine too. And another thing I really like in the movie is the soundtrack. Sure, they got some from the original Cars movie, but I feel like since they reamped it, it brought back more nostalgia to me. Yeah. Overall, a lot of nostalgia to me. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. Yeah. So, I'm not allowed to do reviews over 15 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it short here. But Cars is overall, Cars 3, it's a great movie. Like, it's very emotional, and I really love this movie overall. It's my second favorite movie of the year, and I'm actually surprised that I'm giving a lot of movies 10 out of 10s this year. I gave Guardians 2 a 100 out of 10, because it's my favorite movie. And then there's another movie I didn't review yet, that also gets a 10 out of 10 from this year, which I will get to soon. So yeah. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. So, goodbye.